So, as we get into the story, Mysteries of Pittsburgh, and the Pittsburgh comments, all the abuse that went on during that period, it was being exposed, whether we wanted it or not. You know, that's the one thing about a violation. That's one thing about privacy and violations. Those are crimes against the victims and the families. And all the other forms of exploitation, like using somebody against their will, taking advantage of somebody. You know, anytime somebody goes to work, you know, that's what the job title states. Oh, correct? Okay. So treating me like white trash today and making inferences to white trash. And then you smoke my cigarettes and you wanted us to collect your, you know, UPC codes for the Marlboro Miles or all the other goods issues and cigarettes, etc. How does Chapter 4 look? Well, let's just say any time a sex crime is committed against a family or any criminal investigation, it would take months, maybe years. Let's take our sex crimes kit, April 1999. Like, there back then there wasn't the you didn't see the exposure of Hollywood and sexual abuse. You didn't hear about it. In fact, most of the time, I think most people would be, they wouldn't be fully aware of what goes on the film, like on the set and background. And it led to this, and there's some other things. So we talk about the story about April 4th, 2009. An ambush. What an ambush looks like is when somebody has been abused, and they fight back. That's exactly how I feel. So when I look at abuse, I look at, you know, when you're sitting there and you realize that the offender is there to harm you, you're in the total right to defend yourself. It's called self-defense. If anybody tells you otherwise, they're not telling you the truth. Like, in this case, like, I didn't understand the things I understand now. I had to go through a lot, and I was physically ill by the abuse I endured. So, I could already tell you missing school, missing work. I mean, I don't have to prove anything. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I don't have to tell you what I think about the people who committed the sexual abuse and offenses, a violation after violation. I mean, we could be here for a while. So, instead of exploiting ourselves that way, like, I would rather keep it in perspective. I would rather see the victims have an opportunity to get recovery and help. Like, to me, that's the purpose behind getting help, is not waiting until the next time it happens. Like, there is an interruption in the plans that the individuals have been acting out on us. Like, I'm not sure they're fully aware of it. Whoever did the sexual abuse or whoever committed the offenses against whoever, like, to me, you're totally in the right to get the help you need. Like, if somebody shakens you up to the point where you need help, you know, a safe place to go is a safe place to go. Like, to me, I went through this whole thing not fully aware of how much abuse was going on. Like, to what extent, more or less. Like, we didn't have the education we understand now. Okay? So I would take the role and I would take the position. Like, I would take the active role and help to put a stop to it. Okay? And the reason why we're sharing it is because not one of us asked to be lured back into it. Not one of us asked to be brought back into it. Not one of us even wanted to come back here. And I'm going to tell you, right after this happened, the camper's gone. My dad's, the Chevy Nova's gone. And this is all forms of control. All forms of control to take more rights away from the victim. If you haven't already noticed, the victim is in a helpless position. So you would use strategy. Like, to me, I would strategize, like, how can you help each other as a group? Like, what would you be able to walk away with as far as, like, exercising some basic freedoms? Like, I would use whatever resources are available to me. Like, I wouldn't ignore the help that's there, you know? Like, to me, anytime somebody is continuing the cycle of abuse, you can tell that it's already gone too far. It's called pushing the envelope, as you can tell. So we're going to do this with artwork. We're going to push the envelope for a while. And we're going to talk to some experts, and we're going to have some experts that will help us through it, whatever it is we have to get through. Okay? Apparently, when I look at like a pair of footies, when I look at a pair of Justice, the slippers and things like that, if you haven't already noticed, there's been a pattern of behavior that it's pretty obvious. Like the offenders can't hide their abuser. Like if they're involved, they would have, you know what I mean? It wouldn't have gone on this long. Not with a professional, not at the risk of losing your job and your family. Most victims are not going to take these scary risks. What I would tell you though, because of all the privacy violations and all the sexual abuse that went on, it might take a while. So the process is, it's difficult. It will be much better once the legal process is complete. Like there's a 90-day investigation. There's a bunch of other things that, some general rules, during investigation time, so that no one is re-victimized. And this is why you contact the Department of Health and Human Services and have a welfare case open. In this case, a welfare case, like how your safety was jeopardized. Like you could go through all of it. And the good thing is that we all had a case open, and our case being that, you could talk to a therapist, you can go to a lot of other functions, like other than, being beat on and harmed. All right, so we're going to get you the help you need right now, okay? So whoever was hurting us over the shower or over the building or anything that was going on that was, against your will, please know, no woman, no man would be allowed to do this. They wouldn't be allowed to use or utilize those type of services. They wouldn't be allowed to do that. You know what I mean? So we already know the kind of people that wouldn't take advantage of you. They're not there to take advantage of anybody. In fact, I think it's opposite. If there's careless, reckless behavior, will be noted. They're dealing with the district attorney's office. They're not dealing with anybody else at this point. No, they're going to deal with the district attorney's office. This is the only way it's going to get resolved. They can't continue down the road that anyone went down, especially after what happened down at the T, especially after all the other incident reports, especially at some of the restaurants and some of the other places of employment, and what happened in the shower. There's no getting around. They're not going anywhere until this gets resolved. Like whoever beat whoever down, it's already noted. There's already a case history and a caseload. So there's no change in the facts. It's just a matter of whatever the judges decide. And it'll go to the Civilian Review Board, no matter what happens from here, okay?